Welcome to Geoff Schwartz is Smarter Than You. Geoff Schwartz, you presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. I am Geoff Schwartz. That is Matt Ford. And Matt, today changes our entire luck, whatever you want to say about the NFL. We have moved our NFL show from a Wednesday taping to a Friday taping,
Yes,
an appropriate day to talk about National Football League wagers. Obviously, we missed Thursday Night Football. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, but we now get to preview the entire slate of the National Football League without obviously having to do this with no injury reports on Wednesday, doing this with not really understanding where teams are at on Wednesday. So I'm excited, Matt, to do this with you on a Friday, which is going to be our new day that we will be recording this show, obviously pending holidays and whatnot. But I'm excited to do this on a different day and different time.
Me too, man. We're doing it. I feel like I've taken in more information. We feel we're back today in the home studio for each of us. We're a little, this is, our guy who did this over the summer, Sam, has listened to a lot of conversations about like hotel chairs, like back when we were in the dog days of summer. I feel back. And by the way, today, guess where I'm going today?
I don't know.
Vegas.
Oh, second trip. You went there a couple months ago.
I went a few months ago, and it's a last minute trip for the buddy's birthday.
Oh,
and
you're gonna go ham, aren't you?
I've got 2 days, and I'm leaving my flight's at like 1:45 Sunday. So I'm going to be there for all the early games. I need this. I'm going to take your picks, your college picks this week. I'm going to build a little bit of a bankroll. We're going for it. So this is a good, I need the momentum to sort of crest from here into the weekend.
Two things. One is I find myself increasingly in Vegas not playing any table games anymore and spending all my money in the sports book. Do you feel the same way?
No.
I
do not.
I would rather take the $1,000 I might lose at the craps table and make 4 sports wagers than lose the $1,000 in 30 minutes because some jackass rolls 7 too many times.
It's blackjack for me. I can sit at a blackjack table from the minute I land till the minute I leave without stopping and be like, that was the best trip of my life. I don't know what it is about blackjack. I like the team aspect. I like the feeling of a little bit of control, but you don't really have to think much. The everything about it is my favorite part of being in Vegas.
Vegas. I've been so many times. It is fun. And the blackjack thing, again, I'm fine with playing blackjack, but if you just go to Fremont Street, it's so much cheaper. That's where I like playing blackjack. That's where I take my wife, because Meredith is a person that hits on 16 with a dealer showing a 2, and she ruins the whole table's vibe, Matt, and we just can't have that happen. So I take her to Fremont Street where no one cares because you're playing for a couple dollars a hand, unlike at the major casinos on a Friday night, $50 a hand if you're lucky to find a table like that. Excited for your trip to Vegas. Let's get into this. Quick brag, by the way, we're going to do college football at the end of the show. I did my first contest this year in college football, Matt. Finished tied for 39th out of 1,100 people.
Wow. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. 55, 41 and 2. So 56 points. Wow. It's pretty awesome, right? First year doing the contest. I didn't get in the money. Top 10 gets the money, but tied for 39th. I think it's pretty awesome.
That's incredible, dude. Well done.
Thank you. So hopefully we can get to the NFL. Well done here. The contest people 70%, which is just absolutely wild. We'll take 60%, 3 out of 5. We'll get the opportunity here on this show. Before we get into that, Matt, Thursday Night Football thoughts. Feels like the Cowboys, this momentum they had of they're gonna make the playoffs, just done. The Cowboys now have been done. And I will say one thing. I previewed this game on Bear Bets and other things I was doing earlier this week, and my point was everyone keeps saying the Cowboys defense is better. They're better. They're 31st in DVOA. They're not better. Quinton Williams is not good enough to make your team that much better. They just beat the Chiefs because the Chiefs couldn't make a stop at the end. But the Lions, without Laporta and St. Brown, didn't practice all week. Now it was a longer week, obviously, by Thursday night game. Their offensive line is not as good anymore. They did everything. 44 points yesterday. And so I think the Cowboys were not going to make it anyways. And now they're certainly not making the playoffs.
I was sort of the CeeDee Lamb injury. God, that looked terrible. But I hopefully he's better for well, just as soon as possible. I felt like it was a little bit revealing of just this Cowboys team over the years in general. Like they're so good when they're rolling downhill, and then as soon as the lights get kind of bright, something happens, right? Like it's just I feel like it's just been happening for, a decade plus. But Pickens was the example. Like it was like this was the game you just like needed a huge Pickens game, and he didn't really have an impressive night. It was that other guy, Florney or whatever,
Yeah.
who picked up the slack.
He also didn't sort of show a great effort there at the end to catch a pass.
Yeah,
Like I think last night was the reason why you just don't sign Pickens to a long contract if you're the Cowboys, right? Like you just like when against the Chiefs when they focus all their attention on Lamb, yeah, Pickens is going to be there, but you can find someone much cheaper to do that role, Matt.
yeah, you totally can. I like. Is there any doubt that this will be the best season of Pickens' career?
Oh,
Like,
no
no doubt.
doubt,
Like, I
no
don't
doubt
think
whatsoever.
even the Cowboys probably think that, even though he's young and hopefully has a long and good career. Good one for the Lions, man. Like, good to see them step up like in a big spot. Their trend of, I think they're now 13-1 against the spread after a loss under Campbell. So that's they lost against the spread for the first time last week. So good to remember. And maybe people who counted out the Lions should not have.
I look. I think the Lions are a symbol for really the entire league as we talk about these teams. Is that week to week, what the hell are these teams, Matt?
Yes.
And I don't know if I feel like we say this every year. Maybe we don't. Maybe we go back to week 14 last year. I don't remember saying this as much, Matt. Like what? I don't know. I don't know. Are we getting the good version or the bad version or the
Yeah.
middle version? Yesterday we got good Lions offense. It hadn't been that way for a couple of weeks, right?
That's right. Yep.
And the Lions defense, I think, has been secretly not very good. And they were again last night, gave up 30 points. Wasn't great, right, Matt? But that it's same with a lot of these teams as we get into this preview for the week. It's like, I don't know, the good team or the bad team. Tell me which one's going to show up. I'll tell you which one I'm going to wager on. So that makes this year very difficult, but we're going to have fun doing this here. And Pats, Panthers, Niners, Giants on a bye this week. Jameis Winston, by the way, is going to be in studio for Fox. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that because
Oh, cool.
that'll be fun to see with him there. And Tampa Bay, excuse me, the Pats number one seed right now. Same with the Bears. So kind of wild to think that Week 14 Bears and Patriots would have the bye. Don't think it ends that way, but we'll find out. All right, let's start with Sunday, Matt. Where should we start with?
Yeah, 3 of those teams on bye are in the playoffs. Would never have guessed that. All right, starting with Saints at Bucks. What a way to start a show. The Bucks are laying 8.5 to the Saints. They played earlier this year. The Bucks had like two pick sixes. They definitely had one. It was sort of a strange game. I mean, Bucks are broken. They are clearly not the side to take here.
But I also want to fade the maybe Tyler Shuck is good internet crowd
Yeah,
that seems to be coming this week. Like maybe he's good. He might be good. I don't know.
He's
but
not.
like you've seen that this week, right? Like I don't know. Like this Tyler Shuck guy, he might be good against the Dolphins at home. I don't know. I think we stay away here from this. And I mean, 8.5 is a lot. We're not betting on Tampa Bay here, but we're not taking 8.5 for the Saints on the road. I mean, this game could be super gross.
I gave a note to a few of our producers yesterday that I want to give the betting world, and actually not even the betting world, the football fan world.
Okay.
So there's this tendency for people who work in sports to just want to do something different, right? Where it's just like, we can't talk about the Cowboys all the time. We can't talk about the NFC East. We can't talk about these marquee teams. Let's get out there and talk about Cam Ward. Let's get out there and talk about the AFC South. You can't produce content to your own boredom, right? Most people don't spend as much time thinking about this as everybody else. That's the note I give producers. As football fans, don't invent quarterbacks just to say like, well, maybe there's something. Tyler Shuck is not something. Not only is he not good, he's 26. It's not going to get better than this. This is a stopgap. Like maybe he's something, but he is what he is. And I think that every year the media people just get a little bit excited and a little bit bored. And they're like, oh, maybe this guy. Like just quiet him down. Like the Saints aren't going to win this game. Tyler Shuck is not going to be good, but they still might be a play at 8.5.
So it's the media wants to be my biggest gripe with the media sometimes is they want to be too nice to everybody.
Yeah,
and they want to
true.
be friends. I mean, we'll get to this maybe a little bit later, but like someone canceled on a friend of the show's podcast. I said something not even mean, but like I talked about him a little bit in a way they didn't like. Like, I'm not trying to make friends. I'm just trying to say what's on my mind. Like, that's my job, to say what's on my mind. The media tries to make too many friends. They want to be friends with everyone. And maybe that's held me back. I don't know, Matt, but my job is to give opinions, good and bad. As far as the thing about topics, the best radio guy in America is Colin Coward. What
Yep.
does he talk about? Lakers, Cowboys, Chiefs. Like, he says all the time,
Quarterbacks.
he's
Yeah.
like, I talk about the big topics. If you want to hear about your local baseball team, go to local radio. We're not talking about that.
It's
We're
not
talking about
complicated.
LeBron, Dallas, Chiefs, Patriots, or when Brady was there, USC, Alabama, Georgia. Like, that's what we're doing. We're not talking about Cam Ward very often. So I'm with you there. So we're not doing this game. Maybe the next game. I mean, oh geez, Hank's not here today, so he can't tell us not to do these games. But Seahawks at the Falcons here, buddy. Are we going to do it or not?
Oh boy. The Seahawks are 7-point road favorites at Atlanta. Atlanta playing a little better lately. Seattle maybe under a little bit of fraud watch lately. This has moved down. This was 7.5, I think, yesterday. Oh boy. I mean, we're banned from betting the Falcons. I don't want the experience of betting the Falcons at all. Do you?
No, I don't want it either. So they're at run the clock out time of the season where they're not a playoff team, and they're also a team that probably will not have their coach next year, and probably maybe new general manager. It feels unlikely that typically the coach goes first. Their quarterback's hurt. Cousins it's just not. He's fine, but he's Kirk Cousins. Um, Seattle played really well on the road last week. They play well on the road. That's the one thing they do, which is different than most Seattle teams. They've been really good with Mike McDonald on the road so far this season. They need the game, obviously. Does Seattle a little bit more? And excuse me, last week was at home. I'm sorry, it was 26-0 at home. They beat Tennessee a couple weeks ago on the road. I actually would zigzag here and take the Seahawks -7 if I actually had to pick a wager on this game.
What's the deal with Drake London as we record? He's non-participant in Thursday. There's a few teams where like if their guy just goes down, their offense just completely falls apart, and the Falcons have been one of them despite having such an amazing running game. This could easily be there's I think two things that could happen here. The first is Cousins is playing a bit better. He started so poorly, and I think people wrote him off, but he has played a bit better in the last couple weeks. But the Atlanta defense has the ability to do a lot of what the Vikings did to Darnold last week. Like they can get pressure on him, right? Like I feel like Darnold got a little bit exposed by his former defensive coordinator last week, so it's possible. But the other possibility is like Drake London doesn't play. This team is kind of quitting on Raheem Morris, who has not been the coach that I certainly thought he would be here. And it could just be a blowout. Like Seattle could win this game. This could be like the Commanders game and like the Titans game, like where they just won by like 25 points.
Yeah, I mean that's the concern that I think is with this game. So we'll just skip it.
They've had a very weird, easy schedule for the most part. Like they haven't had like a really impressive win, arguably this whole season. Like they beat the Jaguars on the road. They beat the Texans. Like, is that their best win? Lost to the Rams. I don't know. Strange team, Seattle. I'm kind of talking myself into Atlanta, so let's pass there. A very interesting game for two teams here. The Bengals at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 5.5-point favorites. This has come down a bit as people love to take Burrow as a dog. I don't know, man. What do you think here?
So as we're talking right now, news came out that T. Higgins is going to play for the Bengals. He has cleared concussion protocol, so he's ready to go for this week, which is obviously hugely important for the Bengals.
Huge.
Both defenses stink, right? The Bills are probably just overall better, as evidenced by the number here. The Bills can't stop the run, but that's not what the Bengals want to do, right? They don't want to. They want to throw the ball with Burrow. Is the Bengals defense what we saw last week, or is it what we saw for the first part of the season? This game is at home, which I mean, they both are cold weather teams. It's not that important. The number kind of strikes me as like too much, a tiny bit too much, Matt. But it's a big number, maybe for a reason. Maybe they're that big of a difference right now, as far as how Vegas views these teams.
Yeah. I mean, if Higgins, it's sort of like I think people don't know really what to do with Burrow yet, but I think it's we'll get to Jayden Daniels too eventually. Like when these quarterbacks are in, like you just kind of have to assume they're going to be themselves. So I would be kind of comfortable taking the Bengals here. I also think that line will probably move once Higgins might give them another half a point. The only thing that worries me is the Bills' defense is terrible, but they're really good against the pass. They're just terrible against the run. So I think I think they might actually be the number one pass defense in DVOA. So I think Burrow's going to have a bit of a tough time trying to move the ball, but if anyone can, it's him, especially with this full complement. I think this is like potentially a Zach Taylor coaching for his job kind of game. So I think it'll be close, but it's hairy. It's Buffalo in another must-win game at home where you would be betting against Josh Allen is not ideal.
Yeah, I think we stay away from this one. I mean, I put down Bengals just in case we need a placeholder here. But we have a lot of games coming up here in this next little block we're going to discuss. I might like actually most of these games. So we'll take a quick break, and then we come back and we'll discuss some of these games here, including some divisional matchups where I like a side in probably 3 of these.
Sounds good. Audio show.
All right, we're back. I like a side in this first game, Matthew, between AFC South competitors. I think we're going to be on the right side here.
If we're not, I'm going to be very sad. It's the Colts at the Jags. The Colts are road favorites in Duval. Please tell me the name of the team that you like, and I hope we're aligned.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's go. Okay, great. I love it. Look, this is my favorite of the week.
I'm putting it down right here. The Colts just aren't good right now.
Yep.
1, 2, their quarterback has a broken leg. He's playing on a broken leg.
Yep.
Like that's a real thing. He's playing on a broken leg. Teams have figured out if we just stop Jonathan Taylor, the offense is dead. The offense is dead because the quarterback has a broken leg. He can't be as effective with a broken leg. He's playing with a broken leg. Have I mentioned that, Matt? It's insane. I don't know why. What are we doing here? And one thing we talked about most of the season is that the Colts defense is not that good.
No,
it's not that good. And look, Jacksonville, man, scares the shit out of me. I hate watching them play because Trevor Lawrence could just have like the worst game of his life in any given moment of any time. Like he's just not as trustworthy, but they're playing a little bit better. Look, they beat the Chargers 35-6. They beat Arizona 27-24 with -4 turnovers on the road, and then won 25-3 last week against Tennessee. They're playing better football. What's the last time the Colts won this game, Matt, in Jacksonville 10 years ago? Did I know you? I didn't even know you then.
No, we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
3-16-1 against the spread versus Jacksonville, period, in the last 20 matchups are the Colts. And let's see, 1-9 against the spread versus Jacksonville on road or neutral site games. Daniel Jones, not good outside. Daniel Jones is hurt. All the trends back this up. Shane Steichen's worse as the season goes on against the spread. The other thing that's just kind of worth noting is like, you know what the weather is going to be in Jacksonville? Or I guess today it's 80 degrees there. It's going to be rainy and 98% humidity on Sunday. Like, that's jarring. There's always these like weird games that teams, especially indoor Midwest teams, they have to go and play in a Jacksonville or Miami at this time of year, and it's a tough situation. Without the passing game, Jonathan Taylor like has been pretty quiet for the last couple of weeks. So, and Jacksonville, like you said, I think they're kind of underrated. Like Lawrence has been terrible, but I think the Jaguars lead the league in drops. Like there's lots of things that have just sort of been fluky. They've had a lot of receiver injuries. They can put it together, and I think DeForest Buckner out for this game too. Let me see. Uh, no update that I can quickly find.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's Friday. We'll know later today. It's only 12:30 as we record this. The injury
no
report should come out
Buckner.
later
Yeah.
today for a lot of these teams on Friday. So we won't know exactly, but you get a good sense of that. But I mean, even if he plays, I don't really feel unmoved at all to be in the position that I'm in right now with
Yeah.
with Jacksonville. Like it's
No
not moving.
Buckner, no Sauce. Like this defense is banged up. It's a great opportunity for Jacksonville, who I think might end up winning this division, which is crazy to say. So
Dude,
that's enough time on
do
this.
you remember
but
we
I love
took a Colts no playoffs
Yeah,
like
we
a
did.
month ago. It's
Yeah.
actually we got a better price a month ago than you could get today, which is kind of crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that was a good play. And and we didn't have to bet on Trevor Lawrence. We just faded them.
That's all we did.
terrific.
Fade
Well
someone
done.
else. Okay, so we got one in the tank here. Let's get to the next game here because I'm actually kind of curious where you stand in this game. It's going to be fun to see your opinion on this one.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh Baltimore. A very important game for both franchises. The Ravens currently are favored by 5.5. Lamar Jackson did not practice Thursday. We assume that he'll be able to play, but he's certainly looked limited. I mean, how do you take the Ravens? How do you take the Ravens here? If you're going to play this, you have to take Pittsburgh, I think.
I don't know, buddy. The Ravens certainly have their problems. Don't get me wrong. But Ravens on Pittsburgh. Damn, I knew it. I was going to look. I was looking. Those who are new here, Chris Raybon works for Action Network. He might be the best guy we know in the NFL, Matt. I think he's struggling like most of us this season, but like if he's on the side, I try to not be on the other side. The Steelers are at a point they haven't been in forever, which is that everyone wants their coach fired. Former players, maybe current players. They got guys whining in the media about stuff and how they're being treated by the media. They're whining during games. Like it doesn't feel like a great place to be right now. You get Aaron Rodgers talking about making checks and the wide receivers not doing the check that he calls. I don't know, man. I don't know. This feels like
media stuff, dude. Like this is like, when do you want to take Mike Tomlin? It's when the Steelers have no juice. Their backs are against the wall. They're underdogs against a rival. The last 2 times these two teams have played, the Ravens have won by double digits. But in their previous 9 meetings, the largest margin of victory was 7. In this series, the underdog, when these two coaches face each other, the underdog is 24-7-3 against the spread, which is just absolutely ridiculous. When the line is over 3, it's 23-5-3 to the underdog. So I just think this is Tomlin coaching for more than his job. Like this is a bit of a legacy game for him, and this is a playoff game, right? So I don't think necessarily the Steelers will win, but like they're going to do everything they can to make this game as long and unpleasant as possible. Yeah. They're all going to get up for it. And the other thing, dude, is like Lamar Jackson is not right. This was the first Thursday he missed practice of all these weird injuries that he's sort of been dealing with. He hadn't missed a Thursday practice. So he's going to go out there and it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be really physical. He's going to take a shot or two that he wouldn't probably take against other teams. It's Steelers or bust. We don't have to take it for me, but I don't see a world.
I'll put it in the maybes. I don't really have 5 I like. I mean, I just have to hold our nose and take the Steelers. It's the right side, but
we're going to have to like really look in the mirror because like there are a few games that I think we're going to have to talk about and say like, well, do we like Mike Tomlin with all the trends on our side? Or for instance, do we like the Jets catching 2.5 points against the Miami Dolphins at home?
We're going to take 3, by the way, because you can.
Is there? Oh yeah, let's see. Let me look at the juice on DraftKings. Look at my phone here.
There's 3s everywhere. We're going to take 3. This is moving to 3. Like by the time we get done with this show, there's 3s everywhere. Except, we'll find a 3. But my point is that in this game, so people are talking about Miami now, like, oh, watch out for the Dolphins. Watch out. Here they come. Cold weather outdoor game against the Jets is a favorite on the road.
Yep.
Just the worst spot Miami could ever be in my opinion.
100%, dude.
And I mean, I don't love backing the Jets here that just sort of find every way to lose games. But they've won 3 of their last 5.
Yep, they
Bengals,
sure have.
Browns, lost the Patriots, lost the Ravens, beat the Falcons. I mean, they're competitive against the bad teams. The Dolphins are a bad team, and it's cold. Maybe it's a little windy in New York on Sunday as usual. 40 degrees on Sunday. So the wind chill is going to be in the 30s. This is like where Tua always crumbles. That's where his team always crumbles. So I like the Jets here +3. It's a wager you hold your nose and make, but I'm fine with playing it.
Lock it in, buddy. I gotta say, our guy who we've given a fair amount of guff to, Aaron Glenn, has this team up for these games.
I know.
Like
I
they could have given that game away to the Falcons 20 times last week. Even the Ravens game 2 weeks ago that they lost by 13, but that game could have gone either way. They were hanging. I think they were leading at halftime, or it was close at halftime. Like they're playing really well, even though they traded away a lot of their good players. So I love this one. I think everything you said about Tua outside is right. And I don't know. I believe in Aaron Glenn. I can't believe I'm saying it. I just feel like he has his guys up for these games, and we're giving a lot of credit to Miami for getting hot like a month and a half ago.
I'm with you, man.
All right.
All right. Next game here. This one we could just, do you want to just save time, or you actually have a sign this one? I don't know.
I mean, tell me I'm an idiot. It's the Titans at the Browns, and the Browns are laying 4.5 points. Shedeur Sanders is laying 4.5 points in an NFL football game, buddy. We can't. I can't bet on the Titans again. I can't do it. But like, what the hell are we talking about here? Shedeur Sanders is laying more than a field goal. Like, it can't. The Browns defense obviously is going to dominate this game. This line has moved as a result. I think it was 3.5 a couple of days ago. Myles Garrett, by the way, 4 sacks away from the single season sack record. Cam Ward is getting sacked 4 times a game. It could happen this week. He could be the single season sack leader in week 14 in a year where his team has been out of contention since September. What a season for Myles Garrett.
Well, they're going to have the defensive player of the year and the defensive rookie of the year on a team that is going to draft like 4th overall.
Right. Yeah,
because
I guess quarterback matters, huh?
Because we got Schlesinger at like 40-1 to win defensive rookie of the year.
Did we?
And so, well, not. I gave it out. It wasn't up at the time when we were recording, but I did say I had the ticket in pocket. So our partners at DK only let me bet, I think, $47 on it back in the summer.
That's a huge win.
I'll take that. Now he's like minus 300, 400 right now to win defensive rookie of the year. So. I mean, he's a tackling machine at UCLA. You knew he'd do the same thing in the NFL, and Myles Garrett's going to break the record. So, I mean, those are all good. I mean, maybe a Myles Garrett. I'm curious actually let me look right here. The Myles Garrett sack prop is going to be in this game. It's going to be like, oh, they don't have it up. I saw we'll get the Chiefs and the Texans in a few minutes, but like Will Anderson to have a sack, was, plus 120. Or I'm curious what the sack number here for Myles Garrett would be. It's not up at the moment right now, but that'd be a lot of fun to sort of see what maybe a 2+ sack wager would be something to watch right now. Yeah, Carson. Defensive player of the year, defensive rookie of the year. Schlesinger minus 700 right now.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, so
good bet.
That'll hit my account in January there. Offensive rookie of the year, by the way, McMillan, Dart, Abuka. Abuka feels low at plus 3-1. Mayfield's like playing. Like I don't. If they win the division, is he not going to win offensive rookie of the year? That feels like maybe a wager. If you want to make here at some point, we can make here MVP also. Do you want to put some money on Stafford at plus 110? Really, Drake Mason win the MVP this year?
I don't think it's going to be Drake May. I have a case for you for MVP that we're not taking the Titans, right? We're ruling them out.
Yeah, we're not taking the Titans.
Can I make a off the wall MVP case for you?
Yeah.
So there's one team that in the playoff mix that does not belong there at all. Like if you just look at their season and you go like, how is this team like the Patriots? Okay, that's the schedule, right? Like they've played really well. Like the Broncos, they've pulled a rabbit out of their ass 100 straight weeks. It feels like there's a team that has been crushed by injuries, plays in the toughest division. And continues to is within a half a game of the 1 seed in the NFC. I'm talking about the Niners. And if you just take Christian McCaffrey off of that team, are they 3-9? Are they 4-9 instead of 9-4? Like you talk about everybody else on that team who's a marquee player for them has gotten hurt. Everybody, with the exception of Trent Williams, Bosa, Kittle, Warner, quarterback. Mac Jones is the backup quarterback. The receivers haven't been right all season, but the Niners might end up being the 1 seed. And it's because Christian McCaffrey hasn't missed a snap. He's the most important guy to any team in the league that's not a quarterback. And I do think, like, yeah, of course Stafford or May is going to win it, but I haven't heard his name mentioned once. And I honestly think if we just took like the importance of quarterbacks out of it, you have to think about him as the most important player in the league. I know that's crazy. I know no one else in the media is saying it, but I bet in a week or two that will be something that people are talking about.
So it's 30,000 to 1. I mean, not 30,000. I mean, 300 to 1 right now.
He's not going to win, but like, I do think he deserves to be in the conversation. Like, if they get Brian Robinson as their back,
he feels,
are they 4-9?
He feels a little like Jonathan Taylor is 100 to 1. That gap feels like it should be closer.
But Jonathan Taylor, like, yeah, he's been amazing, obviously, but you can stop him. McCaffrey has been unstoppable to the point that like he is the only guy on the field who you have to even think about. Like when Kittle was down, when they had Jennings, they had no Ayuk, no Jennings, and no Pearsall at one point, and their offense was still functional. So I think Kyle Shanahan is going to win Coach of the Year. I think he should. And I think that McCaffrey needs, like, maybe Offensive Player of the Year makes sense because he is the entire offense for a team that honestly could end up being the 1 seed.
I don't disagree with you because he's been that important for their team this season. Absolutely. But
I'm proud of that take. I think it's a good take.
He's just so far out of the odds. Like he's just not going to make that difference up probably.
Well, how about plus 1,600 for Offensive Player of the Year? Because like JSN, if he has 2 more bad weeks or Jonathan Taylor has 2 more bad weeks, Gibbs would probably win it, to be honest. Maybe Gibbs is the right play. But McCaffrey deserves way more credit than he's getting.
You know, Gibbs last night
has no business being in there.
Gibbs tied Barry Sanders last night for like the most touchdowns within your first like 5 years in the NFL, whatever insane number, 47 touchdowns.
And Montgomery's had great years while he's been there. It's pretty amazing.
Gibbs would probably be the wager to make there, I think.
Yeah, but McCaffrey deserves way more credit. But you know, that's just a good old fashioned take there, Jeff.
My other idea for Offensive Player of the Year, by the way, is like, what if Stafford's MVP and Drake May's Offensive Player of the Year? They probably won't ever do that, but that feels like something they could do.
Oh, that's interesting.
Drake May right now is 150 to 1, so worth discussing there.
Win MVP.
Let's do one more game before we take a break here. It's your Commanders. Jayden Daniels playing this week.
This line has moved.
Minnesota.
We got that breaking news while we were on air.
Yes.
Jayden Daniels will start, and the Commanders are now favored by 1.5 in Minnesota. I got to be honest, buddy. I think you run to the window if you're listening right now, and you take Jayden Daniels and the Commanders.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let's do that right now.
Run to the window. This Washington team is dying for a win, and they have gotten close. They have put things together. They have been killed by injuries that they haven't overcome it the way the Niners have. But when you have Daniels and McLaurin and Debo, and this is the first time those 3 guys are going to be playing together since week 1. Think about that. Like their offense has just been a complete revolving door, and they're going against this Minnesota team that can't get anything done on offense. They're not going to like lap Washington, by outscoring them by a ton. Justin Jefferson might still have a big game. But this Washington team hasn't won in 2 months, and they are dying to get one. So I think they will absolutely take care of business here.
I should totally agree. And I think the point you make is important here. Like, so this time of year, when you're sort of out of it, you need something that motivates you. And Daniel's coming back is that motivation. Like, that's going to get them. Minnesota right now is just not playing good football. I don't know if McCarthy's back or not as of right now, but if he is, that's probably worse for them. Like Brosmer, he was terrible last week. Maybe Brosmer gives him a chance here, Matt. But the idea of Washington being just having life with Jayden Daniels is so important here. And the idea that like they will try to win this game. Not to say they haven't won this game, but like with him back, okay, like last week, does the ball get batted down by Nick Bonito if Jayden Daniels is making that throw?
No, they can't blitz the same way because of
Correct.
Daniels. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
It also, like, there would have been three other, like, that ridiculous interception Mariota threw just wouldn't have happened. Like, I think people are forgetting how good Daniels is, and you don't, probably because I remind you constantly. But, like, this guy has seen all those dumb graphics that every show has done of, like, look at how great May, Caleb, and Nix are. And who's this other guy, Daniels? Like, this guy took them to the NFC Championship last year. They are very happy to have him back, and I think they will get the W this week against JJ McCarthy and the Vikings. I think it's going to be McCarthy. He's clear. If it's Brosmer, then I think this line should be like 4.5. That guy's terrible.
Brosmer, we were right on Seattle last week. I love that we were right there. And it was that's the one where like the big favorite finally covered because the Rams didn't cover last week. There were a bunch of big favorites didn't cover last week. Not obviously that one right there. All right, let's take a break and then we'll get to the afternoon window and a couple of the big night games here. We'll do that in just a second. Stay tuned, everyone. All right, we're back, Matthew. Broncos, Raiders. Okay. The most interesting thing about this one, quickly. So Chip Kelly gets fired, right? A couple weeks ago, and the story came out that two stories came out. One was that Chip Kelly was doing two things. He was calling plays without tagging the motions, and then he was calling plays that were not on the play sheet for that week. The first one's certainly possible. The second one just did not happen. He just did not call plays that weren't on the play sheet. That's not the way it works. Chip is a longtime veteran of the NFL and college football. He's not making up plays that were not installed for that week and throwing them on Geno Smith. That's absolutely just not happening. It's just not happening. Then the story came out that basically like said that the Carrolls ran the offense and made Chip do a bunch of things that were not Chip Kelly. If you watch the Raiders offense, it looked nothing like really any of the offenses he'd ever won and he'd ever run. And no surprise, the offense stunk last week as well. I mean, this is just a war spot for the Broncos, I feel like, but I just don't have the stomach to take the Raiders here.
Yeah. The Broncos off of a long overtime game, 2 road games in a row. Every game they play is close. This was a 10-7 game, I think, when they played the first time this year. The side is the Raiders, but like I got to see some signs of life before we put them in our 5. I can't do it.
I totally agree. So
yeah, interesting points on Chip there, by the way.
Like I just don't think that that like it. I just don't believe that a veteran offensive coordinator of that ilk, whether you like him or not, is going to purposely like try to sabotage his own offense by calling plays that aren't on the play sheet for that week. There's a 300 plays. Like he's going to just randomly choose one before. Like, it's silly.
Yeah, I agree. And I think there was some damage control done by him and Pete Carroll in the way that this was handled. But it's not great.
Yeah.
Not great, buddy. Looking at the NFC West, the Rams are at the Cardinals. Stunning loss by the Rams last week. They're laying 8.5 points at the Cardinals, who play every game close. I just don't know if I want to take the Cardinals here in a kind of, in a big bounce back spot for the Rams. But what do you think?
First of all, I had a take last year that I thought Kyler Murray wasn't going to be back with the Cardinals. He's definitely not be back. They basically told him to go home. Like he's done.
That's crazy.
I think the Cardinals are in quitting territory. They're officially eliminated from the playoffs now. They've lost 4 in a row. They're playing a Rams team off a really embarrassing loss to the Panthers, where their defense just went to shit in that game. I mean, the Rams murdering the Cardinals has crossed my mind in this one.
Yeah, it has for me too. This whole saga with Kyler Murray and also Marvin Harrison, who is, I think, not going to play this week due to a new injury. It just doesn't feel like the Cardinals have any juice. This is a big number for a Rams team that is having a bit of a letdown. I don't know. This just feels like a pass to me, unless you feel strongly that we should lay the big number with the Rams.
I think we just pass it. I put in the maybes, but like I don't feel strong about it. I don't think
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get to 5. We already have 3 we like that are in already. So
Yeah.
and I the next game is I'm so fascinated by this game, Matt, because I don't.
Yeah. Bears Packers. A great game, not on Sunday night, the last window of the afternoon. Packers laying 6.5 to the Bears. Again, you talked about which team is going to show up. We know what Bears are going to show up. They're the same team all the time. They're getting better every week. They're playing every team close. They're pulling things out in the fourth quarter, even if it seems to be a bit miraculous. But this Packers team, like up and down and all over the place. I think I like the Bears here catching almost a touchdown. But I'm curious what side you're on.
Yeah, the thing that's important to note here is while the Bears analytically DVO, like it's not great. They are playing better football, Matt.
Yeah.
And the thing you mentioned is important. The identity of the team is hugely important. This is a team that knows what they are and they play to that identity. They run the ball a ton. Like Ben Johnson's got this team humming on offense. They keep Caleb Williams out of those bad situations, but then Caleb Williams also, we're seeing more of like that USC Caleb Williams, escaping, making plays. And again, the Bears defense is sort of incrementally better. The Packers this year have been so up and down. They're coming off a big Thursday win. Now everyone's talking about, again, like they're doing the victory lap with Jordan Love. I told you like Jordan Love was good. Well, he wasn't really good a month ago. Now he's good all of a sudden. Like, which Jordan Love are we getting? It would be Bears or nothing for me in this one. I don't feel that strongly about it, Matt. I'm curious if like it's one of your 5 favorites. But it would be Bears or nothing. So almost fading like this groundswell of, see, I told you that Jordan Love is good. But dude, 83% of wagers right now are on the Bears.
Oof. Wow, that's a big number. And the line has moved in their favor, which is very strange. This one has a little bit of a fishy feel to it, and the Bears are due for like a faceplant. But I don't think it's going to be here. I don't know. I think this is a really important game for Chicago. I think mostly, right. This is their big brother in this league. They've been they've had their share of beatdowns at Lambeau over the years. So I think they're going to get up for this, obviously, but I don't know. I don't feel like this is one I have a lot of conviction on.
I don't either. The next game is, Jesus Christ. We have to do this game.
I don't know, man. It's Texans Chiefs.
Yeah.
There's probably one of these teams will make the playoffs, and right now it does not look like it will be the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 3.5 point favorites.
I might break my rule in this game, Matt.
I think that's the side. I
only bet on my team if they're the favorite to cover. I don't know how the Chiefs are the side here, Matt. Okay. So first of all, the left tackle's out for the Chiefs, Josh Simmons.
Yep.
The right tackle is probably out for the Chiefs. The right guard is probably out for the Chiefs. Against the Houston defensive line with 2 guys that have that have double-digit sacks on defense against this defense, where the Chiefs have struggled this year against good defenses. My brother brought up something pretty interesting, and it's actually a really good take on the Chiefs. So I know they're like 1-5 in one-score games, but against every good team they've played, the game has been double digits in the fourth quarter, and the Chiefs score late to make it more commendable. This is something I brought up last year when I said, hey, the one-score game thing for the Chiefs, I didn't think it was accurate because other teams were doing the same thing, right, Matt? They were scoring late to make it a one-score game, even though the Chiefs were up by 2 touchdowns, right? You look at like the Chargers, right? The Chiefs were down in that game, 27-18 with 5 minutes left. And the Chiefs scored a field goal to make that a quote-unquote one-score game, right?
Yep.
That's really a 2-score game. And so like you look at the Eagles game, 2010 in the fourth quarter, they scored a touchdown with 3 minutes left to make it a 1-score game. Dallas, right? Just last game, 20, 20, right? 31-21, right? In the fourth quarter of that game. And then the Chiefs scored a touchdown with 3 minutes left to make that a one-score game. They've not really been competitive outside of Indianapolis against better teams so far this season. And I don't know why that changes with a bad offensive line against Houston, unless you think that Houston's offense is not going to show up in this game. Like, I know that I talked to Nick yesterday in New York, and I was like, he's like, the Chiefs can still cover this game, but it's going to be ugly. I'm like, well, that's kind of like a short, like 17-13. Like, you have no margin for error.
Yeah.
And so, is Nick picking the Chiefs? I would imagine he did. Did he pick the Chiefs this week already?
Not in his 5.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but I'm sure he's picking them.
If Nick's not doing it, then I don't know if I could go there.
I think you put them in his 5.
So I think Houston's the side here, man. I really do. I hate doing this because I think that's I breaking my rule here, but I don't know how you take anything but Houston here.
Yeah, and I mean the other key point here is like this is a great under game. This opened in the mid 40s.
I gave out Chiefs under 22.5 points on Bear Bets. That's my bet of the week.
So both of them are going to go. I mean, both teams are under teams, obviously. Plus they have good defenses. Plus you know that the Chiefs defense is going to throw out everything they can here. And like the Chiefs, this is someone else made this point. I forget who it was, but like the Chiefs love to, especially in these primetime home games, do these long drives where it's, dink and dunk, and up there's Rasheed, up there's Kelsey. Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff that Mahomes is not going to have a lot of time. I think this is a great chance to take Travis Kelsey props this week because it's A must win, and B, that's where you could get any grounds, just quick throws over the middle against this Texans defense. I just think this is going to be a long, slow, low-scoring game that's going to come down to the Chiefs probably win on like a last possession, which is a thing they do. So I don't mind the 3.5. It's ugly, but I definitely don't mind taking the Texans with the hook.
I agree. Look, the Chiefs are getting this 3.5 like every game. Cowboys, Colts, Broncos, like that's sort of like their number every week. And one other thing too, because I have a hard time with this. So we love analytics, right? We use them all the time. Chiefs are 6th in DVOA. Their EPA is up there. I don't get it, Matt. I don't watch this team play. I think they're a 6-bet team. Like, okay, Seattle's 1, Rams 2, Colts 3, Detroit 4. That's I think before last night. Maybe it's including last night. Green Bay, Chiefs, Broncos, Houston, Buffalo. And maybe the Chiefs offensively just are that much better than everyone else. They're 3rd in DVOA, but I just don't watch them play, man, and think that they're the 6th-best team in the NFL. I just don't see it. I think this year feels broken, man. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I know that I don't know if you follow Ben Baldwin on Twitter. He does this, puts out these charts maybe on like Wednesday where he has team tiers, and they're just like tiers of where teams are at in the NFL. And if you look at his chart, the Chiefs tiers off EPA is like right in the top of the NFL. Like just I mentioned, like you circled like the favorites. It's like I don't see that on their play. Like I don't see that how they play that they're one of those teams. And so I'll take Texans plus 3.5 here, sort of driving now to make a playoff push and maybe win the division.
It's a great bet. Let me, Jeff, can we take a 30-second break as I step away for just a bit, and then we'll be right back to do Monday Night Football in our 5.
Sounds good. All right, we're back on the show here, Matt. Sunday Night Football to get to here. Eagles, Chargers. I think Herbert's playing with a broken, beat-up hand that he had surgery with on Monday, which is absolutely insane. How are the Eagles not the side here, man?
Yeah, they're laying 2.5 here in LA. Jalen Carter is going to be out for this, which is big. Yeah, I don't love Justin Herbert's chances against the rest of this defensive line. Eagles at a total low point. Chargers are a team that neither of us really believe in. Yeah, I would feel comfortable taking the Eagles, but it might be a little bit ugly. That's just their offense is just a mess. But I do think you're right.
But okay, so if we have the idea that like Pittsburgh's at a low point and we trust them, why not trust the Eagles at a low point either?
Yeah. And the Eagles also, it's, we've seen this with the Chiefs, and, it's just hard after the Super Bowl year to just like continue to grind it out and get up for every single game when everybody has a target on your back. And, they're just not as good as they were last year. The Lane Johnson thing is big. Let me see where he's missed practice this week.
I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play either. But I don't know. I'd be fine. I didn't expect this to be one of our 5, but as soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, that actually does kind of make sense.
Yeah, it feels like almost like pretty easy to me.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Jags, Jets, Commanders locked in, correct?
Yep. Love. Let's go. Okay.
So we need 2 more.
Eagles is
I think Houston's got to be in there.
I'm good with Houston. Okay.
Do you put Philly in there? So the other options are Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Rams, or Philly. That's what I have written as like maybes.
I think Cincinnati's out.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's Steelers.
Do you want to do Pittsburgh just for old time's sake?
Pittsburgh or
here's
Pittsburgh
my
or
test.
Philly would be the
Here's my test. When we're watching the game, and we're texting back and forth as you fly home from Vegas, are we saying to each other, we're dumbasses, the Steelers are down by 15, what are we doing? Or are we saying that about the Philly and thinking that we messed up in that game? Like, which we're easily Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like, easily we're like, oh, they lost 27-13. Rodgers broke his nose again. And Mason Rudolph came in and the Steelers couldn't stop the Steelers.
Yeah. Let's not bet on the injured quarterback. Let's bet against the injured quarterback. Let's do that. Let's take the Eagles when no one believes in them against this Chargers team I've been crapping on for 5 straight years.
Jags, Jets, Commanders, Houston, Philly.
Lawrence, Tyrod.
Washington -1.5, by the way, as of right now, because that number will probably be 3 by kickoff. Just
bet that now. It is time to bet that now.
You know what? I'm gonna do that right now.
Hey, who would you start in fantasy? I know you don't care, but would you start Daniels versus the Vikings or Burrow against the Bills?
Probably Burrow.
Yeah, probably Burrow.
Oh, you made that trade.
I did make the trade because you blessed it. And I shout out to that fantasy league that was very happy to get Pop on the DraftKings network. That my fantasy league of 10 morons is hitting the big time. Let's go.
Okay, college football quickly for this weekend.
I'm writing this down, buddy.
Conference championship weekend. Let me get the odds right now.
I've got my multicolored garbage time with Katie Nolan.
Okay, well, if you hear this today, James Madison is playing Troy tonight, -23.5. Take JMU. -23.5. The Dukes here. So my buddy Sammy P, I do a bunch of stuff with. He said JMU is going to, like, they've been telling people they're going to crush them. The thing about this game too is that in a lot of conferences, there's no longer divisions. Right. So like when we see Alabama, Georgia play, or Ohio State, Tennessee, Ohio State, Indiana, it's like the best of the 2 teams in the conference. Right. The Sun Belt still does divisions. So Troy, who they're playing, is not the second best team in the conference. Right. If that makes sense. Like, so they're not going to score, I don't think, very much in this game. And so this is JMU's last game with their coach, most likely. They're playing for a playoff spot too, because if Duke loses this week, they might be in the playoff. So the style points are going to matter in this game. So it's a lot, 23 and a half. I'm laying it. I already laid it. I also took UNLV tonight plus 5.5 against Boise State. My favorite bet of the weekend is the first half under in Ohio State, Indiana's 23 and a half in that game. If you must bet a number in that game, I think Ohio State -4. They're 11-1 against the spread so far this season. They just sort of boa constrict you, right? They just like it just like it just gets really, really hard to play them for 60 minutes. I think Indiana is a great team. I think they are certainly deserving of where they're ranked. And if they win this game, wouldn't surprise me, Matt. But Ohio State -4. This number, it's funny, it was 3.5 like a month ago, went to 4.5. Then everyone thought they liked Ohio State. They took Ohio State -4.5, thinking the number would go to 6, and it's not. It just hasn't gone. It's gone back to 4. So I like them -4 here in this game as well. I don't have nothing for Alabama, Georgia in this game. I think Texas Tech is the way to go. I do like here. I'll give you another one. I like the BYU quarterback over 10.5 rush attempts in this game, in their game against Texas Tech. Remember, sacks count as rushes in college football, which is dumb, but that's the way that they have set up their sport. So those are my picks for college football. And then we got, we got playoffs, bowl season. Like we got a lot of stuff happening.
You said you like the first half under in Ohio State, Indiana?
Yeah, 23 and a half.
OSU.
Yeah.
What was the one before that between JMU?
UNLV plus 5.5 tonight.
UNLV.
Games tonight.
Oh,
Mountain West Championship
Vegas.
game.
Let's go.
I like. The game's in Vegas or in Boise?
Oh, I don't know, but I just know it's Vegas. I'm going to say on DraftKings, Travis Kelce 60 plus receiving yards is plus 161. He's averaging 59.5 a game, and with no time to throw, and those scramble drills that Mahomes is going to have to do against this blitz, I think that's a very tasty plus money wager there.
I like it. The money for the Travis Kelce props hit the account this week, so that was nice. The over touchdowns and over reception, so nice to hit those like immediately. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's really good. Did we get our JSN one yet? Because he had like 2 catches.
I think so, but the ones were bigger for Kelce. It was very noticeable when they hit the account.
Let's go. Nice, buddy. Look, we're pretty good on the futures and the props, which is the thing I think we spend like the least time preparing for. But we've done pretty well there over the years.
Look, that's how you make a lot of your money on the props, and it's hard otherwise, right? Just it's difficult. Do
you have any basketball, any college, anything else I need to throw in my tarmac bets when I land at LAS later today?
So funny. Nothing for basketball. I mean, people like the Knicks to win the East because they think Giannis might be traded there.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
I think Giannis got hurt the other day. I don't know how serious it is. I'm not up on NBA, but that's like a wager that seems to be like going around, right now in my groups. Like, hey, look at the Knicks to win the AFC. The East.
He's not going there.
You don't think so?
No, they don't have enough to give them. They just don't have enough. They don't have enough picks. They don't have enough.
So right now, Knicks to win the East, 350. So it went down a little bit. It was 5-1 the other day.
I think it's Spurs or Thunder. And man, wouldn't it be fun if either of them?
Goes, ooh, wow. Who are the Spurs sending?
One of these young guys and a million picks. But they'd keep Wemby and
Jokic is plus 150 right now for MVP. Can we just put some of our leftover money on the NFL just on him right now?
Sure.
How's he not win MVP? I mean, I get that shit thing. Yeah. I get it. And Oklahoma City is probably going to break
75 games, dude.
I took them to win 74 plus to break the record with a boost on DK like 3 weeks ago and at 23-1.
Wow, dude, nice.
It's down to 6.5 to 1 on DK right now.
I was gonna say, is there what's SGA's number?
Right behind Jokic, like 160.
I feel like it's a guarantee.
I'm curious if they're going to offer me So yes, I got 2,300 on. I'm curious if they're offering me a cash out on the Schlesinger bet. I'm not going to cash out, but I'm curious. I keep looking like once a week See, they offer me, yeah, they let me bet $47, $48 basically at 40 to 1.
That's like one of your all-time best calls. I got to be honest. That's really awesome.
I think I said to bet it on the shows. So I just, there wasn't, it
No,
wasn't
you
available
definitely
at the
did.
time.
You definitely did.
God, I mean, it's like, I can't believe I tried to probably put 100 on it, which would have been
Yeah,
obviously
man. Red Bull
pretty awesome.
vodka's on
But
you.
I can't 47 DK. I love you guys, but like, come on, limit your boy on this. Like, come on, what are we doing here?
Hey,
What are we
man,
doing?
public company. They can't have those liabilities if you're a
Yeah,
50 to 1
okay.
shots.
My only gripe is just like,
We have no gripes with DK, right?
Portnoy's been $1 million on a game, and I can't get it $500 down on a future or a prop or something like that.
We're sure he's doing that. We're sure about that.
Okay, so I've thought of it. So I've actually asked this before. I don't think you can make. It's illegal to make fake betting slips, right? So like, you need to just crediting him that money.
I have no idea. I can't imagine putting 7 figures on a Michigan game, but maybe he does.
I couldn't either, but I also don't have as much money as him.
Not yet, buddy. Not until that Schlesinger ticket cashes.
You're gonna put $1 million on one of these Jags, Jets, Commanders, Houston, Philly this weekend.
Yes, I'm putting $1 million that I don't have on Trevor Lawrence.
How much money are you going to bet on the Commanders this weekend? How many units, like Matt Ford units on the Commanders?
My units are pathetic, man. Like I'm a 5 to 10 a game kind of guy.
I mean,
so it might be a 5-unit bet.
But that's like what most people are. Like that's nothing wrong with that.
It should be. If you're listening and you're wondering like how much we bet, like it's small amounts of money. I like it to be fun and have a rush. And then the parlays, when you get close on those, like then you can feel like it's something, but like it's for fun. Obviously we're not very good at this year. So yeah, I don't know. I might mess around and put $50 on it, Geoff. I don't know.
I love it. I'm
going to put a lot. I'm definitely going to bet all the things you said here.
I'm excited. I'm excited to. You're going today or tomorrow?
Today. I'm leaving in 3 hours.
Well, the gym you bet you probably can't get in before you land. I don't think. Maybe.
I land at 4:40. The flight's 45 minutes.
Yeah, but the game I think is at 7 Eastern.
Oh yeah, probably not. So, I will say so.
UNLV you can get in. UNLV is at 8 Eastern.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. I love LA. You grew up here. LA's I think my favorite city in the US. Having said that, there's like of its selling points, at least in the top 8 it's a 40-minute flight to Vegas. Like there's no other city where it's like it's a great city, but it's also really close to X. Like if you're putting like San Francisco and Oakland, like maybe. But isn't that just kind of funny? Like
I've had many friends that decide on a Friday night at 7 o'clock to drive to Vegas for the weekend.
Yeah. I never got a chance to really do that. But the fact I booked this flight 6 days ago and it's just like, yeah, okay. I'll be there
would just
4 p.m.
leave at 7 or 8, get there by midnight, gamble from 12 to 6, and then drive home.
Yeah.
and be back for lunch on Saturday.
It's not in New York. You're never like, thank God we're close to Atlantic City. Granted, you could do that stuff in New York, but it's just different. Like there's no other, when you're in Philadelphia, you're not like, oh, cool. Like I'm still pretty close to DC. Like there's like a relativity on the East Coast, but in LA, it's like the weather's great. The food's amazing. Yeah. And it's a 40-minute flight to Vegas.
The thing that is so interesting to me about the way the media talks about California is like nobody who lives in LA hates it as much as the media thinks they hate living in LA.
Have you ever in your life found anyone who's like, yeah, I moved out of LA and now I live here voluntarily?
Well, I certainly think that people during COVID, families with like student athletes left to go to Utah and Nevada and Arizona for their kids to play sports. That absolutely happened. I think that COVID got people to leave. Obviously,
everybody left everywhere in COVID, right?
There are people that like have left. Like I think high net worth individuals do leave California to go to Texas and Florida, but not in the way that we think they do. And I think a lot of people that are wealthy stay and pay the taxes because A, they can afford to pay the taxes, but B, because of lifestyle. Like it's just, if you haven't been to LA, it's hard to explain. Yeah, there's traffic and smog, but anything you want to do in life is like right there. You want to do, you name it, you can do it in Los Angeles, and the beach is right there, and the mountains are close by, and you can go skiing if you want this weekend. I don't know if there's any snow in the mountains, but in theory, Matt, you could go to the beach and go skiing the same weekend.
Yeah, as they say in swingers, it's sunny every day here. You can't be sad. Like it's a beautiful thing.
It is sunny every day in Los Angeles. Well, hopefully it's sunshine is on our picks today, Matt. Send me updates, please, from the casino as you're in your 4th hour of blackjack and with what's our drink of choice from the old barkeep there.
When in Vegas, it's Red Bull vodka. I drink it. It's the official state drink of Nevada. I only drink it there. You just got to keep it moving. You just got to keep going.
There's an Action Network personality that I was with in Vegas for March Madness, like 8 years ago now, 7 years ago. We had a booth for March Madness. This Action Network personality probably had 30 vodka Red Bulls over a course of 4 days.
Yeah, if your heart's not moving a little fast in Vegas, you're doing something wrong. But I'm looking forward to getting back to my bit. I decided my new bit in Vegas is I'm a blackjack tableside massage guy. That's my new thing.
You're right. I got to do that next time I'm there.
Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait to be there and just spread out on the chair, just hit, stay. Oh my God, it's going to be great.
All right. Well, this was a fun show, buddy. We're back on Friday. I feel so much better about these picks than I do most weeks. It's just so much better having the extra 48 hours to figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah, and we did like an hour this time. We took our time. It's nice.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back Tuesday with Gabe, Friday with Matt. Hopefully pick some winners, guys. Take care. Have a good weekend.
See you, buddy.